I'm back.
Your room has been re-rented.
Fuck you and fuck the rooms you rent. I'm calling on the widow and the little one in her care. And if I was you, or any cocksucker with you, I wouldn't try to stop me.
Be brief.
Be fucked!
Hi, this is Robin Weigert. I play Calamity Jane on HBO's Deadwood. And you are listening to the Real Deadwood podcast with Paul Dennis.
Awesome. Okay. I think, I don't really, there's so much has already been said about your role on HBO Deadwood. I would prefer to find out some personal stuff about you. First of all, let me give a little intro here. So on the Real Deadwood podcast, I'm sitting here with Robin Weigert. Everyone knows her as Calamity Jane. Emmy Award nominated actress, Calamity Jane, her brilliant performance. Star of stage and screens, small screen and big silver screen. And I heard you mention that you're talking a little bit this yesterday morning about your college days, and it got me wondering how you became interested in acting and what were some of your, how were you inspired? You read so many bios about, I went to so-and-so movie, and from then on I knew that I was going to be an actress or an actor or whatever.
Well, there was a movie like that for me, actually, and
okay.
that was Sophie's Choice.
Uh-huh.
The Meryl Streep performance in Sophie's Choice was a defining moment in my life. And
really?
I know that many people will say that Meryl Streep is their inspiration and all of that. But this was really a eureka for me, and I don't really even understand exactly why. But Did
you say, I can do that, or I want to do that?
What I said was that this thing that somehow she achieved in this movie, whatever it was, is kind of like some kind of beacon, and I want to follow it. I want to go that direction. It was sort of, it was almost like it was what people call a calling or something. It was a really clear moment for me that was what I didn't have any sense that it was attainable or achievable or anything like that, but there was something in there that was sort of a lot about what I might want to become. She, for a long time for me, was a sort of placeholder for all of that. And, I was so in awe of her, and it was this incredible treat then when I sort of grew up a little bit and had this...
At what age had you seen this?
Had this emotion sort of a little bit more in check, that I actually did get to work with her. In some sense, you could say twice, because I was involved in the Seagull production of this play, The Seagull in Central Park, that she was in. Mm-hmm. And in the Mike Nichols Angels in America. Right. And although we didn't have much to do together there was a whole phase of it, because Mike Nichols is a very unusual director, where you would sit around a table, all of the actors would sit around a table, much like you would do in preparation for a play. And so Emma Thompson wasn't able to be there for that part of it, and so I got to read Emma's parts for that, and so there was sort of that. It was all such a thrill. And the Seagull, my role in that was as a sort of alternate for Marcia Gay Harden, who was at the time she was doing Max Bickford also, and was trying to juggle these two things. And I had a contract that guaranteed that I would get to go on for a few performances, and that was enough for me, because if I ever in my life would get to act on a stage with Meryl Streep, I thought I should jump at it, And that was really, it was one of the most extraordinary experiences, just for being at a table and in a rehearsal room with people like her, with the whole cast. It was Philip Seymour Hoffman, and it was Kevin Kline, and there was not a role. I mean, John Goodman was in it, in this teeny little role that someone of his stature would never take, if it wasn't for being in this company. Chris Walken was in it. You sort of couldn't turn around without seeing somebody incredible, And so just to sort of be a fly on the wall for most of that was an amazing thing.
I'm going to just aim this the other way, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah, I'm not very good at putting that on.
It's kind of... So anyway, how old were you when this epiphany occurred?
I must have been barely a teenager. I think I was 12 or something like that, or 13.
So you went to school on the East Coast. You went to...
I went to Brandeis for college, and for graduate school, I went to the acting program at NYU. And
so you live in New York City. You're from where? From the D.C. area, right?
I was born in Washington, D.C. Yeah. And have been very East Coast, and I'm an East Coast Jew, you know. And the funny thing about the way that I've been, I mean, I'm not particularly
funny. You don't look it.
I'm not particularly Jewish in any way, because I wasn't really brought up with much religion or anything like that either. I think my mother decided that the rabbi at the local synagogue had too nasal a voice, you know, and because she's such an aesthete, that was it for her. That was the end of our Jewish education. But you know, that's how I. So I grew up sort of with that thing that people have of being sort of culturally Jewish, but without any particular religious affiliation. And, you know, so I think there's something kind of interesting about the fact, I mean, I don't know my parents or what, but that I have been recently cast in such a solidly sort of Middle Western, very American sort of way, you know, you know, this role that I have in The Good German, I play also a completely sort of Prussian German character. You
so
know,
this is the next movie of yours that's going to be coming out.
Yeah, I did a movie that's coming out in and I am of German Jewish descent, so the German thing is sort of on the mark. But I play actually a kind of major anti-Semite in it. You know, I mean, I've got a platinum blonde wig and I look for all the world like an Aryan something or other, and it's just interesting. I don't know.
So this is a World War II?
It's a World War II thing, and it's set in post World War II, just after World War II.
And good Germans, as viewed by Americans, in other words, Germans who are...
Well, it's based on a novel of that same name.
Okay.
So The Good German is the name of the book upon which the movie's based. And it stars George Clooney and Kate Blanchett, and Tobey Maguire has a role in it, and I have a small role, but it's a very colorful little role. It was really quite a plum thing to land. I mean, because it's so different from Calamity Jane. I mean, and I have scenes to play with George Clooney.
Wow.
Who I instantly developed the inevitable sort of crush on. It seems like you can't help yourself when you're around him and you're a girl. No matter, you know, it's like he has an unbelievably charming, and he's so bright. He's so intelligent, and I thought I actually had this thought to myself: it's too bad you're so inordinately famous, because I would love it if you could be my friend. You know, you're sort of like one of the smarter people I've met here in LA, and I'm lonely for intelligent company, and I would love to just be able to hang out with you in a coffee shop and sort of shoot the shit, you know. Because I'm missing that kind of culture from New York, where you end up getting kind of, or I do, I shouldn't say you, people can get really lonely without it if you're inclined that way, you know, like you can have all the contact with people you want to, but if it stays very kind of sort of surface, it doesn't do you any good.